Hi everybody, Ink Dancer here. Um, I am going to be doing a quick review of Beauty and the Beast, the new one. Just came back from it and wow, just wow. It was wonderful. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. It's just wow. um, I'm guessing most people have probably already seen the original, like the old Disney animated one. So, I mean, I am getting into some spoiler territories, but not too much. Because, I mean, one, you've already seen it, the old one, and it doesn't differ from it too terribly much. And that's one of the great things. It's new, but it isn't. Um, it brings back all of your old favorite characters. It adds some new ones. It changes them a little bit. There are 4 new songs. Sorry. Four. Okay, there we go. I couldn't figure out where my camera was. There are 4 new songs, and normally I would be a little bit against that because, nah, but it works. It really does. It feels a little bit like you're watching a musical instead of just a movie, but with each of the songs, it's giving you a bit more backstory, giving you a bit more in depth to the characters. There's one song in there that I really loved where it kind of goes into the prince's backstory a little bit. It goes into like Mrs. Potts' backstory, like not hers necessarily, but the different characters living in the castle, and it's just very heartwarming and a little heart-wrenching at the same time. Like I said, there are some slight character changes in it. Maurice is now an artist and Belle is the inventor, but it's nothing that's really like shoved into your face. It's just little things where you see him kind of like tweaking with something, and there are a lot of paintings around. So, and I mean, at one point I think Belle even says something about her father being an artist. And Belle is, I mean, in the old ones, she was smart, but in this one, it really plays to the fact that, she just automatically already knows, okay, her father needs this tool. At one point, it shows her kind of figuring out how to do the wash without actually doing the washing. She rigs up some sort of machine so that, like, I think a horse or a donkey, something like that, can be walking around, and it's slowly like agitating the clothes in this barrel so she can sit there and read. I mean, this girl is smart. She isn't just the weirdo. And I am going to touch on the fact that they made LeFou gay, which, as a kid, I watched it and I never really thought, oh, he's gay. He was a big fanboy, I guess, to Gaston. And in this, it's still not shoved in your face, like a lot of people think it was going to be. You just kind of look at it and you're kind of like, oh, okay, they're best friends. Or, LeFou does seem to maybe really care about him. And then, like, it kind of slowly drops hints that, oh, there may be something there that wasn't there before. Okay. And I do like it. And a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's just, it's kind of shaming the fact that, it's a Disney movie and there shouldn't be anything gay in it. Love is love. Hello. Fuck you. And as a part of the LGBT community myself, I actually really loved that they were going to make a character gay. And I know a lot of the community was thinking, well, he's one of the villains. And if you watch the old one, he's not really much of a villain other than he follows Gaston around. He's a big fanboy to Gaston, which the entire village is a fanboy to Gaston. So by that logic, the entire village is the villain. So it doesn't work that way. And with this, Gaston really is not a bad guy. But I'm going to touch on that a little bit more later. I really did like the fact that this does play on, like, I'm sorry if I keep looking down, my notes are down here. It plays on the time period that this is in a lot, and that is really neat for me. It talks about how Gaston was in the war. I'm not entirely sure which war it's supposed to be, but he has come back from the war, and they do kind of mention it here and there. At one point, it goes into a little bit of Belle's backstory, and they talk about, like, it's her and the Beast, and they're trying to figure out, okay, well, you know, what happened? What happened to your mom? And, like, they kind of slowly stumble upon the fact that she died of the plague, which I think may have been what happened with the Beast's mom. It doesn't really go into too much detail other than she was sick. And, I mean, backstory! Yay! I love a good backstory instead of just, here's this character, they are this way, cause reasons. And no, give me a good reason, you know, why are they like this? Did something happen? You know, why? So, backstory! And this also really, really fixed a lot of the old plot holes that were in there. Like, for instance, the Beast. That was a big one. Even as a kid, it bugged me. One night an old beggar woman came to the door. Why is the prince answering his own door? He's the prince! He's got people to do that! And as I've gotten older, we've seen things come out where the Beast was technically supposed to be like 10. He's doing the right thing. If a 10-year-old shows up at the door and a stranger is going, hey, can I stay here for the night? No! He's doing the right thing. Stranger danger, stranger danger. So this fixes that. He's kind of like a teenager in it, and she's not just, you know, oh, you won't let me stay, you know, fuck you. No, it even kind of goes into detail, and he was a bad ruler. He pretty much was Donald Trump. Sorry. He just did things to do them. He was a spoiled brat. And I mean, in the old Disney movie, it even kind of explains that a little bit too. He was spoiled. He was rotten. And in this, it goes into a bit more detail with that, with some of the rest of the family, the rest, not the family, the other people in the castle, which that was one of the other things that always kind of bugged me a little bit with the old one, was the prince was the one that turned her away. Why did everybody else living in the castle get cursed too? And this explains, you know, at one point, Belle, in the new one, is talking to Mrs. Potts, and she's like, why are all of you under this curse too? You did nothing. And Mrs. Potts kind of agrees with her, and she's like, exactly, we did nothing. We watched as, you know, his mother died and his father raised him to just do whatever he wanted, and he started doing exactly that. He was spoiled. And we did nothing to stop it. And because of that, they got cursed too. And they did it so wonderfully. When I first saw the designs that they had for, like, Mrs. Potts and Lumiere and all of that, I hated it. It's like, that looks nothing like what I know. It looked so bad. And then actually going and seeing the movie, the castle, and just how everything looks, it fits so perfectly with it. And I love it. I still love the old designs a bit better, but this worked really good. And who they picked to play them was just, oh, it was perfect. Everybody was cast so wonderfully in it. And kind of going back to the different people in the castle, it really plays up the fact that Lumiere and, oh, they gave her a name and I can't think of it, the Feather Duster. They are madly in love, and in the old animated version, it was really sweet, and it's like, oh, that's a little risque. But in this, they are madly in love, and at one point, it's even mentioned where they're right next to each other, and one of them says, I can't wait to hold you again, talking about the spell getting broken. And that just really, it just took that feel button and just, because think about it. What if you could constantly see your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your spouse, your significant other, your soulmate? You could see them, but you could never actually touch them. You would never actually be able to feel them again. At the end, once the spell is broken, Mrs. Potts is hugging Chip, and she even says, well, you smell so good. And it just adds that extra layer of feels to it. And it even goes into the whole memory modification. Because, again, with the old animated one, you have this giant castle in the middle of nowhere, but still close enough to a town that surely somebody would have heard of it. But they don't. And in this one, it even explains that's part of the curse, is that it messes with people's memories and gives them no recollection of it. And at the end of the movie, as the villagers are going in towards the castle to try and attack the beast, a few of them are even kind of looking around like, this place seems really familiar. I think I've been here before. So it adds to it wonderfully. And I really liked as the rose was starting to wilt, like the castle is crumbling. The different people are turning more into the objects that they are going to become. But at the same time, I'm going to slightly pick on the rose because I always thought that one rose petal fell a year, whereas in this, it looks like a rose petal is falling every day. That would be a ridiculously huge rose, initially. Because, let's see, 365 rose petals for 1 year. And I'm pretty sure that this curse has been going on for several years. Can you imagine how huge that rose would be? But that's a completely different thing. And one of the last things I wanted to hit on was I really, really did love LeFou, the Fool. And I liked how it kind of showed a weird sort of bullying aspect to it. Like, you already know that Gaston is a monster. I don't want to actually come out and just be like, oh, he's evil. It shows an interesting sort of bullying, because LeFou really likes him, both as a friend, maybe a little bit more, and he sees Gaston starting to do all of these really horrible things, and he's just kind of over here like, I don't agree with this, but you're my friend, so I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go along with it. And it starts getting worse and worse, and he's over here like, well, I've seen what you can do to people, and I'm still not okay with this. And he kind of starts to be the voice of reason to him, just like, are you sure you really want to put him into an institution? I mean, you're kind of wanting to marry Belle. Are you sure you want to put her father away? That doesn't seem like a good idea. And Gaston is just ignoring him. And like as the movie goes on, he kind of starts to realize, you know, this is not a good relationship, either as a friend or something more. And it's really nice, and you get to kind of see him redeem himself, even. But overall, old versus new, honestly, I can't pick a favorite. I love the old one so much. It's very nostalgic for me. It's always been one of my favorites. I remember watching it on the big screen and going back and watching, and now watching the new one. It's very similar, but it's very new and it's very different. And if you haven't seen it yet, go see it. I'm not going to say which is my favorite because I don't know. They are both so good, but that's really all I have to say. It was an amazing experience. The music is still just as good as it was back then. The magic is still there. It was just wonderful. So definitely go and see the new Beauty and the Beast, especially while it's still in theaters. It was wonderful. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this. If you liked it, go ahead and hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you really enjoyed watching me do a movie review, let me know in the comments. And if there's any movie you would like to see me review, there are a lot of movies I haven't seen yet, and I'm wanting to do more with that as well. So that's it. I love you guys. Stay awesome. Bye.